What are you doing? Alright, and we are here now with STL Week 8, and this is truly going to be an epic week. Some of the best matchups coming up, and as you can see right now, we are going to be having iFU against LRM, and it is going to be Crack versus Zeke in the first match, and of course the potential here for epic matchups is just through the roof. We're going to have, you got Zeke here, Scan has showed for the Clan War, so we're quite probably going to be seeing Scan. It is just going to be an insane week anyway. And Zeke, of course, scouting correctly right away with the Overlord. It's a two-player map though, so that is a given, and we will have to see how well Zeke handles this map, as it has been notoriously loved by Terrans and hated by the other races, especially other Protoss, but just in general has been deeply hated. Other races have been finding it very difficult to deal with mech play on this map, just not finding any good spots in which to engage. Let's see Crack getting his depot up. And Overlord on the way for Zeke. So it looks like he is going to be 12 hatching. And Crack, there we go, we've got Barracks, so pretty standard opening from both players. Obviously, Zeke should need no introduction. He apparently has gotten to over 3,000 points and hit B on Fish recently, which, while perhaps not Korean pro gamer level, is ridiculously strong, especially for a foreigner. I mean, way favored here. Of course, Crack has become a good player himself, and he's gotten plenty of notable wins in recent tours. Whether it be Gambit's Cup or TLS or whatever, but you know, he's up against the true top of the foreign scene and a guy who, skill-wise, almost is starting to fit in more with the Korean scene than the foreign scene. Alright, so Zeke getting his gas and his pool. So gas is pretty fast. It's going to be 2-hatch gas. Might put down a 3rd hatch a little bit later, but going to have relatively fast tech here. And Zeke just scouting away with the drone. Has confirmed that there's just 1 barracks, no gas. Might stick around to see if a Rax is put down, and then he will leave. Or not a Rax, a CC. As that really is the big question. And there comes the Marine to chase the drone out. Kind of nice by Crack. Sends the Marine down before the SCV so that Zeke won't get to see if Crack's trying to be sneaky and put down a Rax. Of course, the Overlord that's going to work its way over this cliff will be able to spot this at some point. The Marine's not going to be able to kill it. And the SCV from Crack arriving in the base of Zeke. Seeing the lair, just 2 hatches. And Zeke popping a pair of Lings. No Ling speed being researched as of yet. SCV from Crack. Whoa, sloppy, 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 sloppy. Not paying attention to that at all. Loses it right away. And we got more Lings popping out for Zeke. And here come the Lings. Although these Lings are not going to be here for aggression. They're just going to be going up to the front just to check for anybody moving out. Now he might make more later. It's pretty common with 2-hatch meta to make more Lings at a later time and do like a little run by, try to pick off Marines if they're vulnerable, or go through and attack the turrets or what have you. And a few Lings running in from Zeke, just checking the front. Obviously not going to lose any. As he is quite a high caliber player. I do not think we would see him overcommit at all. And he does see another SCV going out. Of course, there's no Ling speed, so he's not going to be able to chase that down and kill it. Although he actually is going to give chase of it. Interestingly enough, with all the Lings, a lot of times Zerg will leave a Ling at the front just to watch for Marines coming out, but he's got this Overlord here, which should have full vision of that. It looks like he's forced to let the SCV go. He's going to make a 3rd base. And we do have the Spire, and there they go. So a few more Lings from Zeke. It looks like Ling speed just kicking in now, so this SCV should not make it into the main. And nope, it is going to get picked off. And sometimes when you see Zergs do this, is this far away? This might be 1 hex away from the minerals, which would be pretty incredible if it was. This might be 1 off from the minerals, I'm not sure. But a lot of times when you see Zerg get the fast 3rd hatchery, they're getting this for gas, and they're going to go kind of meta all in using the 3 gas. And now the Lings from Zeke running up here. Although Crack is in a good defensive position, Zeke will not be able to do anything with these Lings. Bunker goes up now, but they are not going to be useful at this point in time. It may be useful if Crack were to try to move out for me to Lings around, but no danger at the present moment. See, Overlord's just finishing up now as the Spire nears completion. Needless to say, Zeke's timing is really sharp. If it wasn't, that would be pretty shocking. We got 2 barracks from Crack, getting a lot more medics right now. Depot going up. He's got an eBay. He's getting stim. Turret timing is quite nice. In fact, that's almost spot on. And you don't need to start a ton of turrets right away with 2-hatch meta. You can kind of start your first turrets right as the meta are popping, and then more will finish up later. Because at first Zerg doesn't have, or lost my train of thought. Well, the important question here is, what is the progress of range? Right now there's no sign of it yet, so this delay in getting range might be an issue for Crack. I hope we're not going to see another game of forgotten range. We got the mutas out from Zeke, now heading up to Crack's base. Okay, he's not going to forget range, but it is a little bit delayed, so that's going to give Zeke a little bit extra time here where the mutas have range against no range. So pretty equal range here, and Zeke's going to fly in. Of course, Crack has put up 4 turrets already, so he's made a lot of turrets really fast. Definitely taking this quite seriously. And Zeke's just going to go to work here, attacking this depot. Try to bring that down, and no real defense here from Crack, knowing he doesn't have the range on the Marines. I think he's just going to sack the depot. Indeed he is. And now the muta from Zeke flying in here towards the natural, and with the Lings, he's going for the bunker! And microing it down nicely. Is the repair going to be enough? It looks like the repair is strong enough. No, it's not strong enough. The bunker does fall, but only a few Marines are lost in the process. Crack's still on 2 barracks, and it looks like range is just about to finish for him. And no other tech from Crack right now, so production is pretty low. The bunker is being rebuilt, and of course Zeke has taken the gas here, and I am pretty sure this hatch is misplaced, judging by the creep only going right to the minerals. And we see a hydrogen, so Zeke is going to transition out of this. Still making a few more muta though. And a nice defense so far from Crack. Zeke flies in, picking off an SCV there sitting by the depots. And looking at the supplies, we should expect Zeke to be a bit lower, and he is, although Crack's supply not super high either, as he was forced to make a lot of turrets pretty quickly. Which obviously lowers the marine count. He can't add the barracks as fast, so don't have quite as much money for marines. And now Zeke flying in here over these turrets, going to start getting aggressive, trying to make some damage happen, but he actually loses a few meter there, and he's forced to fly out over the turrets. That's 1 or 2 meter dying there in that attack for really nothing gained, and now Crack with a decently sized marine medic force for this point in the game, moving out onto the map. You can see Lurker is about half done though for Zeke, which will offer some nice defense. He's being forced to make a sunken colony. We've got mainly muta production here. I don't see any Hydra being produced. Perhaps at this base? No Hydra out yet though for these Lurkers, so that could be an issue. And Marine Medic now trundling down towards Zeke's natural. Of course, the muta are aware of where it is, but Crack paying attention nicely too, and does spot the muta. And over here, we just have a scouting SCV for Cryok. Muta now flying in. Oh, nice control there, picking off a Marine. Actually, seem to be bunched with the group, but nice job by Zeke. And Crack continuing his way down. Muta again pick off another Marine. Honestly, if he gets a few more, he can whittle this down. Crack needs to be really careful of stray Marines and or reinforce this, although Zeke doesn't lose a muta for nothing there. Flies over, a second muta goes down. So Crack definitely getting some kills right now. But we do have Lurkers morphing at both bases. And Crack getting ready to run in. He's up to 3 barracks now. I'm not sure if there's any other tech. It doesn't seem like it's just 3 barracks. The Lurker are not done yet. I don't know if the burrow is going to be in time. Zeke might lose his 30. He's going to have to come over and defend. The Lurker does burrow, but it's not enough to kill any Marines. The Marines rush in now. Definitely all the drones will die for Zeke. Here come the muta to defend. Lings popping out. Will the defense be sufficient? It looks like it is. The third base will survive despite the scare, and Zeke will be okay now for the moment. He has droned up a little bit, and the bigger issue from Crack is that his tech is not super fast. Although, never mind, it's not that he hasn't started. It was just, I expected him to build it down here. It was, in fact, a little bit above, so he is getting close to starport. And now Zeke coming up the muta, intercepting lone Marines without medics. He can just camp this, and he does. And hopefully Crack is not going to just fall apart at this point. He was playing a pretty tough game here against Zeke, but maybe in some trouble now. There are not that many units from Crack. We can see a lot of Lurkers coming up, and there are only about 8 Marines or so, as there's 4 in the bunker and 4 elsewhere. That is not a ton of units by any means. The muta fly in now, picking off these Marines at will, and there's very few units out from Crack. I think a tank was supposed to be close to completion, but here come a bunch of Lings and Lurkers burrowing now. The bunker's going to fall here in a heartbeat. No way for Crack to defend that. He is forced to evacuate the natural, and Zeke suddenly dealing a lot of damage. The muta are returning home. There is no threat. Why? I don't know why they doubled halfway back to home, but he has forced a major lift on the natural. There's a tank out now from Marines and Crack. He'll probably clear this out, except for the fact that more muta are arriving, and that will take care. Actually, there's not that many there. The damage to the tank happening very slowly, but it still will be enough to get rid of the tank. And now Crack is not going to be mining from his natural for a long period of time, and Zeke just going to reposition those muta, finish off the gas, finish off the turret, and grow his advantage now. We see no trend toward Hive. Oddly enough, only 1 Evo is upgrading for Zeke. And the muta just kind of zoning, looking to pick off these tanks at the cliff. And here we go, Zeke going in again. It's going to be very hard to defend this tank, and actually now the muta might go against the command center a little bit, but with this damage from the tank, Zeke is going to have to reposition his muta. At some point, this tank will have to come out onto the low ground. Zeke, again, just macroing away, playing comfortably off 3 bases now. He's got a supply lead, so obviously a huge advantage here. Zeke trying to get the command center. I don't think that'll happen. I think there's too many Marines there, and it's not like he's remade a ton of those muta, and a vessel is out now. Not enough energy for Radiate, but it is nonetheless out. And the muta again running in, gets a medic though, so he's still got enough to one-shot everything in that clump, and picks off the other medic. And finally these Lurkers will get cleaned up, and Crack will be able to land his natural, but the damage is done. Zeke is definitely in firm control of the game at this point, and now is making the move to Hive as well. And the muta flying in for a little more harass, picking off a shot or 2 on the vessel. which now does have sufficient energy for Irradiate. And Ziki making a bunch of lurkers at his other bases. Has he started an upgrade in his Evo Chamber? Yes, he has. So he's getting his claws, he's getting his melee, which will give him 1-1. And I doubt there'll be that many more upgrades. Okay, so it looks like Crack is going to get his armor upgrade, which will put him at 1-1, but Ziki's 1-1 is going to be faster. And that, of course, here soon, very soon, is going to negate the +1 attack from the Marines. As we can see, that Carapace very close to finishing up. Ziki sending a few links out across the map as kind of a scouting spread, just looking for bases of Crack, and moving to take a 4th base at the top right. And now Ziki moving across the map with a lot of lurkers and his Nita and a few lings. At the same time, Cryak is looking to camp this ridge. I don't think he's going to move down here too far, because he does have the tank sieged up. Oh, gets a vessel for free. Cryak not paying attention, and Nita Ling coming in here trying to clean this up. Irradiate does go down. Ziki will have to split it out. Not the best. It's taking Ziki quite a long time to find this, and those Muta taking a tremendous number of damage, basically eliminated from that Irradiate. And yeah, Ziki basically just sacks him there. This base about halfway done. Another hatchery being added for Ziki. And the lurkers continuing their way up and around, or going back, I don't even know. I don't even know if they know what they're doing. Hive is done. Defiler Mound, though, and that is going to be the real issue from Crack. Ziki quite possibly is just going to wait for the Defiler Mound and then give Crack a bunch of problems. Crack actually has regained the supply lead, though, after killing off all those Muta. And he's going to find an Overlord here, Ziki. 2 killed. Again, Ziki has nice things kind of all over the map now. We'll know which direction Crack's army is opting to take. And another Overlord here is going to be found in the center. There are only a few lurkers here, and Ziki running in with the Lings. Nice job there for Crack, saving the vessel. The scan goes down, attacking from the high ground actually can work. It's just one lurker, but of course there's the rest of Ziki's army over here, which burrows, but a little bit out of position, although that many siege tanks. Ziki's going to need to get out of here, but his lurkers are kind of glitching on top of each other, and he ultimately just re-burrows them. I think they're just out of siege tank range. Scourge going for the vessel, can't quite get it. And a brief lull in the battle. How close is he? He's about halfway to consume, so he's only got to hold on a little bit longer, and he ought to be fine. And here we go, we've got a bunch of lurkers running in, and there's a lot of army from the bottom. Is it sufficient? I think it is. And it looks like Ziki on just pure army and macro is going to be able to punch right through this army. More lurkers being brought forward into this battle. And the army of Crack completely cleaned up, and now the supply is roughly equalizing again. That was funny, the Lings were like right there, but the tank was on the high ground, so they didn't see it until the tank shot. And then they're like, oh, I need to go up there and kill the tank. Although Crack is amassing another really large army pretty fast now that he's retaken that second base and is macroing away again. No sign of a dropship. Always only vessels. Of course, Ziki now has consumed and getting plague, and there is a Defiler ominously. And with that army group and Ziki running in here with pure Ling, very aggressive with just his Lings, and tries to go for the surround but doesn't quite control it right and kind of ends up getting nothing for it. But he still has a lot of these lurkers out of the map, throwing a few here, perhaps for stop lurkers, I'm not sure, as he's left just 2 over there in the center. Defiler's gonna get irradiated, but is it in time? Swarm goes up, lurkers burrowing, they're actually outside the swarm right now, they will need to move up there into that swarm. Of course, he's not gonna get another consume off with that particular Defiler, so he's not gonna be able to push into the natural of Crack right now, but he can go up the ramp anyway. Does burrow those lurkers right there at the ramp, with Crack also moving some units down here to the bottom, his natural third location. And I don't know why Marines are fighting these lurkers under swarm, that's a bit silly. There we go, Crack. Noticing and pulling them back, and not hold positioning them though. At the same time, Ziki coming up on the bottom with quite a few Lings. Action all over the place right now in this game. And Ziki again moving forward with the lurkers, or maybe moving back, realizing his Dark Swarm is going to run out. He's going to need more Defilers. Looks like a few Vessel giving chase, possibly going to go all the way across the map to Radiate Defilers. And Crack is establishing his third, so again, he's playing very tough against the player of Ziki's caliber, but there are still Lurker Ling Defiler here, and a Swarm goes up. And can he get another Swarm? If he gets a Swarm, he can get into the third base. He's grabbing a Ling. He needs to eat one more, or is he going to push up towards the natural? No, he's just going to drop a Plague. He still has enough for more consumes. But the Defiler nicely targeted there by Crack. Very nice, although Ziki with more Defilers and more Lings needs to get them up there quickly though. before this Darkstorm evaporates. And of course, these two lurkers still chilling here in the center. Zeke getting his 2-2 upgrades. Crack has lifted his Science Slate, now finally making some dropships. No sign of a mech transition yet, although we see another starport being added, which is a bit interesting. Scourge! Can't pull the first vessel in time. Lings run forward. Seemingly mis-targeted though. Needs another Darkstorm or something, or maybe he was hoping the effects of his plague would still be there. But the medic healing was too much for that. And it looks like Zeke's going to try to push Crack a bit away from this third, ultimately exposing it, but there is still that Marine group and bunker in there. There we go. Now he's done enough work, and now the Defilers have made it into the third base. The tank is unsieging. It will be too slow, though, to escape, and the bunker cannot really be saved. So the third from Crack coming under heavy pressure from Zeke. And, oh, these lurkers. Crack is not paying attention. He did not expect them to be there. And they are doing a lot of damage, killing off most of this Marine Medic force. And in the meantime, Zeke also attacking at the other base, although this attack seems to not have a Darkstorm with it, so it's getting beaten pretty easily. The Defiler coming up, drops a Plague, but over here is the real issue. The SCVs are lifted, but all of them are going to die as they are transferred away. And two more Defilers here. Swarm gets up, but not in time to save any of the Defilers. Nothing alive under that. And the last of these forces cleaned up by reinforcing links from Zeke, as most of them were obliterated by these lurkers in the center, as we already saw. Crack moving forward here with the tanks into the range of the lurkers. Needs to be careful, but he is falling pretty far behind at this point. Down to just 100 supply. Mined out in his main. Natural mining out. Zeke's moving. Lurkers moving forward again from Zeke. There are fire bats in there. And it looks like the lurker may eventually win out. But Zeke now charging into the natural here with Ultra Ling all over the place. And it just appears to be too large of a unit mass right now, especially since these Ultras do have their armor carapace. I think it's just too many units. Hydra streaming in. It looks like Crack is overrun. SCVs are being transferred since those lurkers were cleared out, but it is too little too late, I think, as the supply for Crack is dropped to the 60s. It's 140 for Zeke. More and more units coming in. Lurkers being morphed everywhere. And I think Crack is being pushed to the brink, being pushed to the point of GG. Although he has played a really tough game, and there it is, GG, and Zeke with the expected result, taking down Cryok. But I have to say, pretty nice game there from Zeke to push Cryok that far. And now we're going to get ready for Game 2, which of course is going to be on Coliseum 2. So here we go into Game 2. It is going to be Scan against True Touch, another super awesome matchup. Again, like in the previous game, Scan is heavily favored. As good as True Touch is, Scan is still massively favored, as he's just such a good player. Scan, of course, as you guys know, has been playing a little bit in SOSPA competitions. He has also, he hasn't done terrible. He's actually beaten some players, won a few rounds. He took a game off Movie, and he's done well in the Chinese leagues as well. He's showed some very strong play. He's still not, upper echelon Korean level player, but quite strong. And True Touch is really good for a foreigner. Not Zeke good, but really good for a foreigner. And should be able to offer some competition here, but it is TVZ, which should be pretty favorable, although some people speculate that Scan has a little bit better TVP than he does TVZ. And True Touch, as far as I know, has gotten up as high as like 2,700 points or so on Fish, so he's got near B rank, but not super high like Zeke, and certainly not like I don't actually know what Scan has hit on Fish though. So Scan, we can see, is taking ICV to kill the Sunken, doesn't want to get like awkwardly Sunken rushed or something by True Touch. And he is going to wall off here, as the Sunken at the wall would be pretty annoying. You wouldn't even really be able to repair the wall if the Sunken was built close enough. So the pool goes down for True Touch after the hatch, so we just have normal 12 hatch opening there from True Touch, doing it in base, but it has gas. And the Overlord floating to the wrong spot for True Touch, but nobody's going to do diagonal over Scout as a general rule of thumb. And, okay, just lifting. Okay, I was like, why are we making a wall and lifting? That will be a tight wall to everything. There'll be no gaps there as we have racks. Depot above racks is tight, and depot above depot is tight. And the drone from True Touch has seen the wall of Scan, but of course Scan just dropping a command center down behind there. And Scan now coming into Scout with his SCV, and of course this is the first time we've seen Scan in a long time in events. The last time he played was probably one of the first ISL, maybe. I can't remember if he played in any major foreign event, any foreign team event after that first ISL. There's been some controversy around him, but he is nonetheless here playing today for iFU. He's actually been in channel 2 other times. One time we were deprived of seeing Scan as he was supposed to play an ace match against Draw, but Must won a game for iFU that prevented it from going to ace. And then he showed up for another game, another Clan War series, but for whatever reason was not fielded. But he is definitely out here today. And we have the Refiner going up for Scan after just 1 barracks. Or 2 barracks rather. Okay, so that's just kind of normal. 2 racks gas tech sort of stuff. And it looks like the lair is finished up here for True Touch. And the Spire on the way, so we're going to have some very fast Muta coming out here for True Touch. And a Sunken there at the front here for True Touch. Spire about halfway done, and Scan getting a 3rd barracks. And the Academy about to finish here for Scan. So timing for everything looking pretty normal. And lots of Marines out. And we'll soon be able to add here a medic. For the front to True Touch just to see exactly what is behind the barracks. But all he's going to see is the usual Marines and medics, and Scan could push out now, but knowing that it's 2 hatch Muta, I don't think he will opt to do that. We can see the +1 attack there for True Touch coming for the Muta, and of course Scan eBay is just about to finish. Oh man, that is going to be like perfect if he starts his turret right then, because ideally you want to start your first turrets right as the Muta pop is about perfect. Of course, the Muta are going to head directly toward True Touch base, or towards Scan space, although Scan is going to be coming out here with some Marine Medic, which might be an issue for True Touch, especially if he's not paying attention, and he appears to be aware of this. Doing a nice job here, microing, picking off a few of Scan's Marines, although he's losing a lot of his Muta. It looks like 2 have already gone down, and a 3rd almost going down, so Scan off to a good start. In fact, Scan so far is not even being forced to get turrets because he has his Marines out there in the center of the map pressuring. True Touch trying to take the 3rd, much like Zeke did, but he does have pressure here from Scan to deal with. Of course, these Marines do not have range right now, which means the Muta can be very strong against it. Range still has a little ways to go. And True Touch Just flying around there, trying to feel out where Scan is. Scan moving around the map pretty good. It's one of the interesting things in TVZ. You can pretty much tell most of the time the caliber of the Terran just by watching their army movements and seeing how active they remain on the map with their army. And there we go, Scan stimming and moving forward, picking off, I think, another Muta in that, and chasing these guys of True Touch all around. It's almost like ring around the little barrier. True Touch trying to get to a place where Scan can't see, but Scan coming out with another large Marine medic group, and True Touch just says, alright, I'm going for it, but there's like 5 turrets here. True Touch taking tremendous amount of damage, and Scan is just saying, you know what, I don't care, I'm moving across the map with his Marines undeterred. The scanner will go down. A second sunken colony is being added now for True Touch, and a few Marines out there from Scan to help defend, but it is just 3 naked Marines without any sort of Marine medic. But True Touch's Muta are going to have to hurry back here pretty soon. And yeah, now he realizes he needs to go home. Defense is being put up at the front. There are a few Muta out, but not that many. Overlord going down, supply blocking True Touch just a little bit, although he does have most of his larvae producing, and Scan is going to kill this off, I guess, because it could be annoying, I don't know. But now he moves forward with the Marines. There's only 2 Sunkens there, and I think it might be enough to bust through what True Touch has. And he's charging in. He is getting target firing down a lot of the Muta. Will it be enough Muta from True Touch to defend with the support of the Sunken? I don't think it's quite going to be. The Sunken goes down. It is now just Marines fighting pure Muta, and the control from True Touch doesn't seem to be strong enough. Scan with just this tiny Marine medic force seems to be busting in. Now True Touch is microing for all he's worth. There are no reinforcements from Scan. He may be able to clean it up. He's going for the camp. It looks like it is just barely enough. True Touch does hold Scan's attack, but his 2-hatch media aggression completely shut down with very minimal damage done. Scan having a nice little 10 supply lead there. True Touch still has some mutas around. Still has about 8 mutas out, and he does have his 3rd left over, making some drones. And Scan immediately pushes out with another round of Marine Medic. Scan now off 3 racks going to 4, and it looks like he is adding his starport, about to finish. And True Touch does have that +1 attack on the Muta, which is quite nice. But again, Scan just continually assassinating these Muta. Another one goes down. And True Touch just being forced to continuously make Muta. He's going to take the gas, so he might go for Muta all in, as I don't see any sort of Hydra Den yet here from True Touch. Oh my god, what is this? What is this? It is just barely enough, but very inefficient micro. True Touch losing 4 or 5 Muta. Tried to camp the force of Scan's Marine Medic, usually you wait till there's just 3 or 4 left, but he camped at like 8. And so lost 4 or 5 Muta in the process there. A bit rough. What are the supplies looking like now? Still just that edge there favoring Scan. 15 supply ahead. The Muta again coming into Ras, but it's only 5 or 6, not that scary. And on cue, Scan with another group of Marine Medic coming out here against True Touch. He's doing a wonderful job keeping these guys out of his base, though, which is allowing his eco to grow, his tech to grow. Science vessels on the way. And True Touch needs to be very careful of this. Again, there's only 7 or 8 Muta in that group, and more Muta coming out from True Touch. He has started to mine this 3rd gas. He's adding more drones. So I think he is eventually going to try to transition away, but at some point, if he's not careful, Scan is going to get a really large Marine Medic mass. It'll be too much for his Muta alone to deal with, and then he will need to have those lurkers out in time to handle that. Flying and picking off the turret, and here we go. The Marines move forward, but the Muta on top of them, and of course the vessel now chasing. Not enough energy for an irradiate yet, as it is freshly spawned, but it is there ominously. And of course True Touch doesn't know how much energy he has on that, so hopefully True Touch is ready to split. Scan suddenly appearing with 3 tanks and a vessel and a lot more Marine Medic. This looks very scary right now for True Touch. Again, he has no lurker tech in sight, and having to defend this all with just 8 Muta is going to be, well, let's just say a tall order, and that is a nice way of putting it, unless he just has like perfect split against the Irradiate and then some godlike micro, but that is a lot of Marine Medic. There is enough energy. The Irradiate goes down, unfortunately hitting kind of a front Muta, which allows True Touch to split it out very quickly. So now the Muta still balled up, has a lot, and Scourge are being made, Lings are being made. They're slow Lings though, which is not so ideal. The vessel way out in front though. And here we go, Scan is coming up with the tank. There's actually no Sunken, so the tank itself not that critical. No Sunkens or Lurkers, so he doesn't even really have to have these tanks. They are there, but just a few slowlings. A lot of Overlords here are vulnerable as the rally point has been kind of just at the third cliff. Muta trying to micro, but I don't think they're going to be able to do enough. That is a lot of Marine Medic. The vessel is going to get Scourged. Again, the vessel not critical. It was not near an irradiate, and there are no Lurkers anywhere in sight, as there's not even a Hydra Den. And all these Overlords, of course, are going to go down, giving True Touch a massive supply block. He's going to have to rely exclusively on this Muta, which it seems unlikely will be sufficient to kill off all of these Marines. He's doing his best, but Muta are dying each time he goes in there. It looks like he's down to just 4 or 5 Muta left. He's hatching as many as he can. Tank's now sieging up in range of True Touch's base. And can he whittle this down enough to camp it and clean it up and hold on? No. Well, certainly not before his third base is done. And no, it looks like True Touch is saying uncle. He gives up. GG is said. Down go the Muta, and Scan will take it out for True Touch to tie it 1-1. And I have good news. I believe my co-caster is here and available to join us. He was having to take care of some things, but I'm going to be calling Red Axis now. And then we will be getting ready for Game 3 of iFU against LRM. Hello, Red Axis. We'll need to do a quick sound check here, and then we'll be ready to go. Let me switch here to the chat. How is the sound balance between Red Axis and I right now? How well can you hear him? Say hello again. Talk a sentence or two. I'm gonna try to turn you up.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Alright. We're gonna be an OP STL, by the way.
Okay. Alright.
You host one first real quick here so I can, so you can join my game since I'm the one that has the replays.
Okay.
And our next match is going to be, I believe, Teameague against Teameague.
Oh yeah, they're complaining about the in-game music.
A little too loud? Okay, I'll turn it down. It was a little too loud for me as well, so it's good to know. What game name? Make a game real quick so that you can join mine so we have it late break.
Ooh.
Alright, WWW1.
Okay.
Alright.
The chat.
And of course the map is Outsider. I assume most of you guys know this map fairly well. 3-player map. Has kind of 2 symmetries on it. It has, you can play around the edges or you can play for the center. And sometimes you get games where players are contesting both, or you get games where people are fighting for the center. You can go a lot of ways, and yeah, so spawning in the top position here as our white Protoss, we're going to have Reps Tama, well not Reps, is now iFU Teameague, although he's still using Reps Teameague in-game. And in the bottom position as the red Zerg, we have Teameague. Well-known LRM heavy hitter, arguably one of the best foreign Zergs in the scene. He has been a little bit without practice recently, but hopefully he's getting back into the swing of things. He wasn't playing too much. Like he said, TLS, basically he had hardly played at all, but now he has been playing more recently, and hopefully is getting some strength back.
Yeah.
Rex is like, yeah, I want to see Teameague just crush these people. Actually, I don't know. You don't have any rooting interest here, though, because he's not a Terran player. Or do you have a particular love for either of these players?
I like Technics. He's cool. He's nice.
He is actually a pretty chill guy. At first I got into like some big discussion with him, and I thought he was going to be like really hostile, but then he turned out to be really friendly, so life was good. And it looks like Technics is doing 9 pool here. And it looks like gateway for Tama, so some 1 base play coming up for Tama. And if this is double gate, this can turn out a little bit interesting against 9 pool speed, as you got to be really careful of link backsteps. It can be quite intimidating. Although this is not going to be that, it's going to be 1 base tech again. So against 9 pool, if he's not careful, he can get overrun with links. Redex is going to do the musical STL cast. Or is that going to turn to like Jaws hype music once the links from Tech pop about whether or not he can hold his ramp? Bum 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 bum. Or however, it's been a while since I've actually watched that. He's making a Zealot first, that's good. If you didn't do that in ZVP or PVZ 1 base tech, that'd be pretty insane. And a drone popping down into a hatchery, and the Ling's coming up from Technics now. Gonna chase the probe away. The gas is non-existent, so it is just 9 pool. And the ramp firmly blocked by 1 Zealot. The second Zealot is not out yet, so probes are going to be pulled here to help defend this guy and add DPS. So hopefully he can hold at the ramp. 2 probes have been used to kill the scouting probe, which is now dead. And Technics immediately moving there to attack the Zealot. I believe he can take it out. The micro is decent here from Tama, and it looks like he's going to hold on to his, or maybe he's not going to hold on to his ramp. 2 Lings will make it by to run around, and that is going to be a bit annoying, because now if there were more Lings being made, they could also try to run in if he didn't leave the Zealot there, which he hasn't. So we'll see if Technics can get some kills here. And with this low eco, each kill is pretty valuable. Looks like 2 more Lings coming up.
I'm surprised he didn't like just build a forward and gateway on top of the ramp and expand in the backdoor expansions. Because it's easier to secure an expansion on this map than any other map.
Yeah, definitely much easier to hold that backdoor. We have a Dragoon coming out from Tama, most likely in response to dealing with these pesky Lings. He has not shown any tech yet, though, other than getting his core. Oh, he's made a nice little pylon there, if you see that behind the minerals, blocking those Lings.
And it looks like the Zerg is gonna go some like 3-hacked Hydras, because this is a strong build against a 1 base Protoss.
Yeah, it is quite strong. It offers a lot of aggressive potential. You still sort of want to do damage with it, but you're not like as all in as you would be if you were doing it against FE, because the eco is much similar. See, second gateway for Tama, although we do not see any tech yet. He's just getting Goon range. There's a possibility of Goon Reaver at this point, I'm kind of sitting here thinking. Although we're still waiting to see a tech building. And it looks like we're going to have a 2 Zealot, 1 Goon poke. And a Sunken is being made here for Technics. It will be done in time. And oh, a 3rd gateway from Tama. So it's just going to be 1 base power aggro. Probe's still alive and scouting around for Tama. Quite nice there. And it looks like Tama moves in, but Technics has 4 Lings and a Sunken. Will easily hold off 2 Zlots and a Dragoon. 3 base speed zeal? I mean, what is it going to be? Just 3 gates? 3 gate Goon? Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 3 gate power Goon, which explains the lack of any sort of tech. And honestly, I don't 1 base that much as Protoss, and you don't see builds like this that often on Korean stream, so I don't really know what to expect here. It's like the low econ version of doing +1 5-gate Goon off of FE. Alright, so here we go. He's running in, and he's got a lot of Zealots. I think the Sunken will fall for sure. He's actually repositioning his Zealots to fight the Lings. Drones are being pulled now to kill the Dragoons. 1 is actually down. The Sunken, though, is down, and that is going to leave it vulnerable to micro from these Goons. And Technics has only Zerglings. He's getting a Spire, but this might not be the right timing. Are they Slowlings? Oh man, Technic's bleeding a lot of drones here. I can't tell if they have speed. If they don't have speed, this is going to be
They
like...
are-
I don't think they have speed, man. This is going to be like a walking nightmare for Technics right now, as these goons can micro effortlessly against these lings. There's a lot of them, though. Wait, do they have speed? No, they definitely don't have speed. Definitely not, but once Tama starts to get a little bit more of a critical mass, he can just keep microing back and microing back. Technics either needs to buy time for a sunken or two, or use like all of his larvae, but that's going to make it hard for him to make any muta, as all of his larvae right now having to go into lings. And Tamas has got to be careful not to get surrounded like he does with that bottom goon, which, oh, so close to being trapped. Would have been a nice kill there for Technics, but now the goon number growing to 5, and Ling's just dying faster and faster here, as it looks like Tama is approaching critical mass. Technics is desperately trying to get up a few of those sunkens. If he gets up 2 or 3 of those, he can likely live.
Isn't doing anything to follow this up, or like he's not putting down an expansion or a target or anything like that.
Yeah, actually, it's odd that he even has the money to do that. He's actually not using 1 gateway, so that might be part of it. And it looks like speed is done for Technics. A lot of Lings getting a pretty nice surround here, and that is a ton of Lings. And now Technics will probably choose to back up at this point, although maybe he feels he just has enough with his speed to get rid of all of these Dragoons and just trying to beat it back with pure Ling. But is he going to have to quit at some point? No, he continues to come. He is getting kill after kill, but the reinforcing Dragoons are probably just a little bit too much. And yeah, I don't know, he kills 4 or 5 Dragoons there. And he does have the sunken up. And quite a few more Lings out. 3-hatch Ling production, I think is going to be able to keep up with this. No Muta coming into the mix yet, just pure Ling right now from Technics. But I just don't know now. It looks like with speed and the 3 hatches of Lings, I think that's going to be enough here to kill off these Dragoons, especially if Technics can start to get some great surrounds and pin a couple of them against that wall.
And in the meantime, Tama getting the Stargates. So there is a follow-up.
Although, Tama's microing pretty nicely. That was pretty cool. Took like no damage from those last 6 Lings. And Technics is continuing to send Lings at this like a maniac. But he's got to keep reducing the goon count. If it gets too big, these Lings won't be enough to get anything done. 1 goon there so close to dying. Technics not quite getting the hits on the right Dragoon. He finally targets it down. But there are still 7 or 8 Dragoons out from Tama. And a second creep colony is being added now from Technics.
Both players expanding now.
Tama actually to the front, Technics to the back. Technics running in yet again with Lings, but I think it's too many goons in too tight of a formation there. And is there going to be an attempt from Technics? No, he really can't switch into Muta until he beats back this goon aggression threat. 3 gateway goons, and actually these Corsairs could serve to be a problem, as there's absolutely no anti-air here from Technics. And losing a few Overlords can supply block him into a situation where he can't make more Lings and loses his ability to defend.
But he's heading back. Not gonna be going more aggressiveness just yet.
So the Nexus up now from Tama, who has retreated away. Looks like he's decided he's had enough of the goon aggression for the time being. Muta are out for Technics now, so we'll have to see if the Muta defense is sufficient here. If these goons are sufficient for Muta defense. Sometimes that can be difficult. Oh, there's quite a large mass of them. And it's only 3 or 4 Muta here from Technics coming in right now. Oh, there's already 3 Corsairs too, never mind. Yeah, so perfect anti-Muta prediction here by Tama, who I think is going to be... What do you say?
You can't stutter while typing.
Can't stutter while typing.
That's what it means.
Oh, you have the chat open, yeah. Okay. I was like, wait, where did you get this from? Who was talking about stuttering? What? Oh, Tama's glitched a probe into Scout Technics, coming in the back door. Going to see a evolution chamber and a hide den, and it's going to be chased down by one really speedy Ling. Some Scourge popping. And a bunch of drones for Technics at his backdoor hatchery. Which at some point Technics can decide to glitch a drone through there and gain access to 2 more gas if he plays that sort of style. And Technics is kind of at a loss with what to do with these Muta, as there's such a high Corsair count out now. With that they really can't be that effective unless he's able to, you know, coordinate some sort of mass scourging of the Corsairs when they move out into more exposed location.
Just stand still.
Oh, that's a pretty clutch hold there by Technics, to be honest. Like, when he didn't have a Sunken, and he had only like 6 slow wings against 3-gate Goon, I thought for sure he was going to die. But he bought time really well and got speed out.
I don't know. I don't think it was that threatening, to be honest. And moving down across the map.
Corsairs killing off an overload of Techniques up there over the natural. And Teameague, yeah, just kind of zoning here in the middle of the map with his army, continuing to add zealots to it, and it's a pretty scary army. Techniques is being forced to add creep colonies, and the other issue for Techniques is he does not have any sort of Sim City, so zealots are going to be especially effective, although they are slow lots and they don't have +1. So looks like +1 carapace would be done before. Yeah, I don't even think there's a forge. Well, no, there's a forge, but right now we've got Teameague moving in here. Tons of lings being sent forward from Technics. Probably feels like a ridiculous amount of units, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to punch through all of this, particularly with those zealots coming in there to help tank the damage from the lings. But the lings are trying to get in there and surround as many dragoons as possible, and there are some Hydra out to fight, but is it enough? No. At the moment, Teameague's forces are too large, and if there's good enough reinforcements, it is possible here that Teameague can bust. He doesn't have speed lots though, so the reinforcements won't be especially fast, but it looks like the power of these Sunkens are enough to force Teameague back, at least for a moment, to pick off some of the new units. Reinforcements are actually very slow in coming. Here comes a few more Dragoons, but will it be enough to bust through here? I don't know, Technics is making a lot of Hydra. It looks like he's got almost a control group, so that will hold against the Goons for a while. I think with the Sunken support, Technics will be okay for the time being. Is he getting speed? He's not researching it. It's just finished. And his forge, no, there's going to be... Oh, +1 just finished, okay. So he has this little edge right now where he has +1, and Technics has no carapace, but Technics' carapace is pretty close to being finished. Or did it just finish? Okay, it just finished, so they're both on 1-1. Corsairs killing off the Overlord there at the natural, but no DT to accompany that. Speed from Technics just kind of chilling over at the 3rd. And now Technics, suddenly a bunch of units coming out of nowhere, or so it feels. Although, what's he have for production? It looks like he's got 3 hatch production? No, he's got 4 hatch production. Going to 5 hatch. So yeah, this is actually a lot of units now from Technics. And there's no storm here from Teameague. This could be a bit scary.
He's getting his 6 and 7 factory, but 4 zealot drop coming from Teameague.
Yes, and I don't think there'll be defense for that hatchery. It's going to die, but we have the main engagement at the front as well. Is there a storm on the Templar? No, it's picked down. Lots of links in the front, forcing the Dragoons back. And the situation is looking pretty scary from Teameague, who has killed the hatchery, which is nice. He's forgetting to send the zealots elsewhere, but it looks like he's killed off all the units of Teameague. The natural is 100% dead. A DT is out, trying to kill these Hydra, but look at the stream of units here from Technics. It is a ton of Zerglings coming forward. He is trying to make it through the ramp, and I think Technics may have just busted right through what Teameague had. Teameague clearly not expecting that kind of production, did not have Templar out as fast, and didn't know it was coming because he hadn't added extra cannons to be safe.
Oh my god.
Yeah, now Technics is going to go behind here and camp behind the Nexus so he can kill probes. The DT is actually killing off a ton of Hydra, and there's actually 2 DTs out now defending. Probes being forced to distance mine in the back, but I just don't think there's going to be enough units. And if an Overlord from Technics, although it is painfully slow, ever makes it up, they'll actually be able to kill the DT. He's actually killed off one of the gateways with all of his lings, and Technics is continuing to fight here in spite of these DTs. I think eventually they may hold the day, but a lot of damage has obviously been done as he's lost the natural, and the small loss of the base that was just going up is not that big of a deal. Technics trying to go backdoor and kill some stuff, but unable to get it. The DT back there helping defend. And the Hydra at the front continuing to pick off units, and we can see Technics does hold the supply lead as well.
And Technics has dropped Max.
It's a pretty unpleasant situation though for Tama, because now it's 3 base to 2, which you might say, oh okay, that's sort of okay for Protoss, but Protoss has only 1 gas. Now I know Zerg only has 2, but 1 gas Protoss is pretty hard to make anything. You can't really have even Dragoons and Templar, so you're really limited. And now it looks like the Muta, they fly past the shuttle with 1 DT, no response. They're just going to go in there though and camp the cannons. And of course, it's been only Zealot production, so now Tama is going to lose his 3rd base production, and he's going to attack Technics with about 4 Zealots, and 2 DT against Hydra, Lurker, Ling, and 2 Sunken, so I think we can guess how that would end. Actually, never mind, he's going to load this into a shuttle, maybe. And now the Muta are ransacking all the probes here. There's 2 Templar, though, which Technics would need to be careful of. They have enough to storm.
Templar in the main base. Swipe.
Getting some kills. 18 kills on this guy. Oh yeah, that's because he's fighting in the battle at home, killing all the Lings. Wow, Technics, no reaction, but I think the damage is done for Tama. Holy shit, dying drones. But the Muta are killing everything at the other bases, and Technics is sending out the rest of his army. He's actually ignoring the DT. He even had Overlords there and Hydras. He's ignoring this just to attack at the base here of Tama. Even Lurkers now in the composition, no OBS, which is going to be a real big... Wait. Is there OBS? I don't think there's an OBS, but he killed a Lurker seemingly after burrowed. The DT is now going to the back door. Technics is finally like, okay, fine, I'll run my drones away, if you insist. But again, down goes the front, and the Muta are actually going to kill the back door Nexus. So there is only 1 base of Eco, and that is basically mined out for now for Tama. Pretty nice storm killing a lot of Hydra, but I'm not sure how crucial or important that's going to be at this point.
Oh man, the Dark Templar with 35 there.
Here comes 2 more Zealots and 2 Dark Templar in through the back door, and at the same time, the Dark Templar is sent. Well, they come through the back door into the main, and at the same time, a DT is sent to the back base. Although technically seems to be aware of this, and is keeping a lot of his drones at the front. Now he's sending in the rest of his Hydra and Silver Lords to kill off the shuttle and the Zealots, and finally get rid of all this stuff. But let's face it, Tama is in a pretty bad position. He's running Zealots out through the Lurkers just to try to do something at the front door, but I don't think he has enough stuff.
And probably a last good attack.
TT! Good sight. But they were finally dealt with, so here comes probably Tama's last gasp, which looked like it was going to be a run by into the main there for a sec. It might actually be enough units to take down 7 with the natural. Technics needs to pop a few more. Oh, never mind, he's got a lot of Hydra in the main, he's going to be fine. Especially up on that ramp, and all Tama can do is say GG. The lead becomes 2-1 in favor of LRM.
Oh, yeah.
So, the expected result, but definitely a contested game there, and got interesting for quite a while. And yeah, that was a low eco game that like almost got lower in eco as the game progressed. So it was super low eco. Super low eco.
Overwatch.
Overwatch will be our next game. Of course, we have to wait and see here who our players are indeed going to be. And it is going to be... Oh man, this is so small though for me to see. I believe it's Wallace against somebody. Wallace against Must. So we're going to have a PvP here on Overwatch. Wallace, of course, a newly minted B-rank player, and showed a lot of improvement this season. And Must, a ladder hero extraordinaire, and generally strong Protoss now from Russia.
Oh.
And of course, the source of many Defiler memes. And of course, the map is going to be Overwatch, a 2-player map.
The stream is showing top.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that splash, as the game is definitely on Overwatch, so I think that might be a little bit of a mistake. But it will be an Overwatch game, so I'm not sure what to make of that. But Overwatch is a map created by, I think, Freakling, but it is one of the new foreign scene maps. And I don't know, I haven't seen too many comments about the balance of Overwatch. So I don't really know what to expect. We've seen a lot of PvZs on it, but aside from that, I don't really know what to expect. So I guess we'll have to see. I mean, PvP is going to be balanced, but I just, no one's really commented on Overwatch. It's been Oxide that's gotten all this shit for Terran Imba, Nerf Mech kind of stuff. So Redux, this has got to be like your favorite matchup, right? Two Protosses playing each other? Like a Protoss has to lose. I mean, that's a winning situation, right? Hey, look at this. Both players are starting the game out with a pylon. I think they're doing that because you need like a pylon to build a gateway. But I'm a little disappointed that none of them are confident enough to win with exclusively probes. Alright, so we have a gateway for Must. And gateway for Was, obviously. No gas first. That would be pretty funny. They invented some new PvP build that's super gas heavy. It's like fastest possible Archons. Two Archon timing at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. 8 pylon, 8 gas.
9 silent.
It would still be beat by Dragoon Micro.
1 Dragoon Micro.
Actually, I think a Goon, non-range, and Archon. No, a non-range Goon probably has 5 range. I think an Archon has 3. So I think a non-range Goon would still have more range, but it would be awkward Micro to do. Second pylon from Must, so we're going to see Zealot Core Zealot from Must. And from Wallace, we are also going to see Zealot Core Zealot. So mirror build so far from each player, although slightly later scout timing, so Must is going to have that slightly stronger eco. And wait a sec. No, never mind. Yeah, Must only has 2 guys on gas, I believe. Or am I freaking out? I'm not sure.
He does have 2 guys on gas.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, because there's always supposed to be 2 guys going back and forth. So Must has a guy off gas. He's making the second Zealot. Wait. No, okay, he did Zealot Core Zealot. For a second, it looked like he did 2 Zealots before Core, which would be like ultra super defensive. And the core finishing off literally identical core timing for both players. Like, that was like perfectly identical. We can see Dragoon starting in both gateways. And yeah, we can see Must from the scouting timing though, identical builds, but Must has about a 50 mineral advantage, able to get his range started like so slightly like half second faster than the range from Wallace. Obviously the probes are alive from both players. Pretty hard to kill a probe with Zealots unless the player really messes up. One thing that needs to be mentioned about Must is the guy practices a lot of Brood War. Plays like 400 or 500 IC Cup games a season, or he's played like a lot on Fish now. And I think I heard recently he'd gotten pretty high in points on Fish. I know he's a player that, although he hasn't had results that are like mind-blowing where you think, yeah, this guy's a top player, there's some guys, some top players that rate Must really highly and just feel that he underperforms a little bit in like Clan Wars and stuff.
That's a lot of games played.
Yeah, it's a lot of games. It's not quite mission level, but it's a lot of games. So robotics facility, gate robo here from Must. And duplicate Robo from Wallace. Wow, really, really identical builds. But I mean, both of them are sitting out the natural in like the same way. These players are just playing the same game. Wallace is like a probe down or something, but... So here comes the Nexus. Is Wallace going to Nexus now? No. Okay, so we're finally going to deviate. Must is going to drop a Nexus. Wallace is going to drop a second gateway. So Must is going to make... Oh, he's going to make Obs first. Wallace is as well. But I think we're going to see a Reaver crawl here from Must. Well, we're going to see a Pylon first. Second gateway first, okay. And now here comes Wallace to make his Nexus. Perhaps. I can't tell though, because he has spent some money. Maybe not. Maybe Probes is going to go out and scout. Alright, so double Q to Obs from Wallace. And from Must, also going to make double Obs, so neither player going to Reaver that fast. Reaver will still be crawling out here in a little bit for Must, who does have a slightly faster expansion. And now Wallace is going to move up a little bit here with his 2-gate Dragoon. At the moment showing no signs of building like a Robo Bay. There it is. Okay, so similar builds, but Must with the faster Nexus. Wallace will probably have a slightly higher goon count. But of course we can see Flies for Eagle. Here comes Wallace trying to come in with a probe. Might have just gotten into vision of that Nexus. Must not sitting quite as far ahead as he might have expected, but I think he wants to be safely back in his choke as he hasn't scouted what Wallace is doing yet. Reaver on the way now. And here comes Wallace with the Obs. Need to be careful of seeing Must's Obs and losing his own. Oh shit. Little bit careless there from Wallace. Will get very minimal scouting information. He probably saw the minerals and saw that Must just started mining from his expansion, so he'll know that the difference in expansion timing is not that dramatic. But a shame to lose that Obs. He didn't get really a look. He didn't see the Reaver coming down. He didn't really see much of what Must was up to behind that. And the Reaver now crawling down here for Wallace as well, and Must is moving across the map. That is a bit of an interesting decision, but of course Dragoons are as fast as Dragoons, amazingly. I know that might shock you, but the significance of that statement is that you can run away from the other player's Dragoons as long as you aren't careless and get walked on. So he can just kind of scout with his army here, and as long as he pays attention and moves back quick enough, he doesn't have to lose anything. Although one Dragoon of his is going to derp and quite probably get sniped off by Wallace. Yeah, that one gets sniped. But he's just trying to come down here and get a feel for what Wallace has. But it's not like, say, Zealots against Speedlings, where if you move out with Zealots against Speedlings, you just get trapped and die because the speeds are equal and the Goon has to stop a little bit to shoot. You can run away safely without losing anything. And here comes the Reaver above the base of Wallace. No Obs there. Citadel coming up pretty quickly here for Wallace off of just 2.5 gates. Here comes Harass Reaver. Elegant lost to this badly last time. Is there a reaction? Oh my god, probes dying. That's got to be 5 or 6 probes right there. So a very nice initial Reaver shot. That's probably like half the probes at the natural. Dying right away to this Reaver. And Must opens up the first supply lead of the game now with a 10 supply lead. That's slightly faster Expo and Reaver damage kicking in. And Must just here has an Obs position where you can kind of see if Wallace moves out, and he sees it now. Nice reaction too. Immediately moves the Obs away, seeing that Wallace doesn't have an Obs there, and that Wallace is going to move across now. He's got 2 Reavers in that shuttle, so Must is going to need to counterattack apparently. As he drops the Reaver immediately into the natural, getting a shot off on those Goons. A few probes dying from the incidental splash, and those Goons go down immediately. And how will Wallace respond? It looks like he is going to come home and defend, but Must can go up the ramp and offer some really annoying issues, and Speed is done with the Reaver shot. Oh my god, probes being slaughtered right now. Must is making a mockery of Wallace's probes. Another Scarab almost goes off. But there's a lot of army for Wallace at the ramp. Although with the Reavers there, Must might be able to. Scarabs are derping pretty hard though, and it looks like he's committing everything to the shuttle and gets it. So Wallace will be able to clean up this army for Must. So I don't know, it looks like Must is going to donate a Shuttle Reaver and about 5 or 6 Dragoons to get in return probably 10 probe kills or so. Must is doing a really annoying job just like running these Dragoons around. He knows they're going to die, so he's just like, I'm going to run them around and at least make you take more time to kill me. And interestingly, Must still has a 20 supply lead, has 2 Reavers at home to defend, and is moving more goons down. I think he wants to do another small counterattack, but this time Wallace is going to move out over this bridge. And will the reactions be quick? Yes, they are pretty quick from Must, and he does move his Dragoons back. And Wallace is probably like, well, this sucks. Because we can see his probe count is not that great, particularly when compared to Must's luscious saturation. And another shuttle flies out to harass, which is a pretty good time to harass when the other opponent is out attacking. And it looks like Must wants to go to the high ground to slow Wallace down. It's a little bit of a race for the high ground. Must needs to get there in formation. He actually has information. Wallace is coming in a line. Probably should back down here, or at least he's going to have to drop the Reaver. I don't know if Must's army is quite big enough to offer a full defense here, and the Reavers aren't with it, so no. But look at the shuttle, though, for Must. It is a speedy shuttle, and it is heading over to harass Wallace, who has 0 goons in the back door. And in comes the shuttle. Drop goes the Reaver. 0 reaction from Wallace, of course, because he's doing the attack, which is pretty micro-intensive. He's going to lose all the probes as natural. I doubt he'll respond. So the critical thing is Must now live if he wants to extend this game. He is spreading his goons out pretty nicely, and it looks like his army might be big enough. Big Scarabs could change the outcome, but a DT slips out. There is an Obs, though, to defend. This battle is going to be very close, but all the probes in the natural are dead. And in fact, the probes in the main now are being absolutely annihilated too. So all Must has to do is hold here, and he will win this game as the eco is utterly gutted here for Wallace. There's like maybe 5 or 10 probes left for Wallace. So it's down to kind of these 2 Reavers. There's a DT out. The Reaver goes down before the DT can do anything, but the DT is actually going to get it. The Obs has been killed, but the DT dies to Reaver Splash. Must needs to target down the Reaver that's 1 shot away from dying, but I think he's going to hold this off. Wallace's reinforcements are a bit slow. There's still 3 goons there, and now we have Dragoon fighting Reaver. He'd forgotten to build Scarabs. He actually could have stayed there and killed the Reaver, but Must didn't know that and certainly wasn't going to take the chance. So now it is just Must trying to hold on. Wallace has like 15 probes, so huge economic advantage here for Must, and double supply. And Wallace is actually just going to go home, so that's basically going to be it. I think Must will just build a macro up and win. Can take a 3rd. In fact, he's got a probe over there and 800 minerals, so I think we're going to see a 3rd Nexus.
Oh, that macro.
Yeah, man.
남자.
Korean commentary. Alright, so Must coming in with shuttle from behind. Although this time the Ob spots it, but now Must walking in with goons. He's got a shuttle here with a Reaver, but Wallace has goon numbers. Nice Reaver Scarab though from Must, going right in between all the Dragoons, and it looks like there are sufficient units here from Must to push back into Wallace's natural, although a shuttle has arrived, but it has no Reavers in it. And now some reinforcing speed lots are coming in from Must. That's going to really bolster this attack, as speed lots are very quick reinforcements, and the Reaver is getting off a lot of nice shots. Of course, Wallace has a nice arc, a few goons positioned on the high ground, but these speed lots are definitely doing some nice damage. Must trying to reposition, force Wallace to come down. I think the Reaver may have forgotten to build Scarabs. No, it's still got a few. And the control from Must here really nice with this Reaver, as it looks like he is finally finishing apart Wallace. There's actually a Zealot in the mineral line killing probes. The supply is now triple for Must. And Wallace is forced to say GG, and the series again goes to 2-2. So man, this series is definitely living up to the hype. I'd say each game has been pretty entertaining. That was a nice example of counter harass. Unfortunately, Wallace just didn't really react to it. But
Bye bye.
You have to go.
No, no.
Oh. Oh. I was confused. I was like, what?
No. I was saying right now.
So now we are actually going to have a game on Towcross. And it is going to be between Bonth and Marwin. Now this will be interesting. Neither of these players should need a whole lot of introduction at this point. But Marwin, of course, we know is the monster mechanical Terran from, I think it's Ukraine, but it could be Russia. And Bonth is a Polish A- Protoss, who is quite strong in his own right. And he's known for 2-base Reaver into Carrier in this matchup. I don't know if we'll see it on this map or not, but quite strong player himself with a unique style, and of course the map. Towcross, you guys should know it, 3-player map, flat, non-ramped. 1015 is really popular, at least at low-level play. I don't know if we'll see this much here. That's like all I ever see on Towcross when I cast like D or to a lesser extent C games. And of course it has lovable cliffs for lots of harassment. A lot of times Protoss needs to get a shuttle pretty fast to deal with that threat.
I thought Marlon was Protoss.
No. He's a Terran player, man. Go
No,
Sue.
because it's like every Russian/Ukrainian player are like Terran, or Protoss, I mean.
Yeah, there are a lot. Tama. Well, yeah, I guess a lot of them are, though. I'm trying to think of who isn't. I mean, Advocat wasn't, but he's a little more old school.
Brado K.
Braddock was Terran. Again, a little more old school, not currently around here, but... So yeah, spawning in the top right-hand corner, blue Terran is Marwin, and bottom position as the red Protoss is Bonth.
Oh, Strelok was Terran.
Strelic was a Terran, yeah. A lot of the old school guys. I think new school... So old school was all Terran, new school was all Protoss. Russia fell in love with Ire. Maybe that's become the new Protoss home base or something. I don't know.
Protoss sucks.
Protoss is awesome, man. What are you talking about?
Protoss sucks. Imba.
Dude, Marwin's building a supply depot. It doesn't get any more inbred than that. You can like wall yourself off and you can't do anything. You can send like a 200 army and like 3 tanks can hold it off behind a wall.
That is not true, because if that's 200 worth of scouts, then...
Scouts. Yeah, if you had a Protoss making 200 scouts though, you got bigger problems. Alright, so barracks going down for Marwin. And a scout going out right away. And there we go, there's the gas. So both players looking to open reasonably normal so far. Of course, Marwin still might go like 2-port Wraith from here, you know. Although this isn't the show match against Vadi, so I don't think we'll see 2-port Wraith. I'd put my odds against it.
I don't even know they played a show match.
Yeah, it was last week.
I only know about the show match between Zero and MVP.
Yeah. That one. And man, MVP, every time he trash talks, he gets beat down. Talked about how he's going to beat Jack Links, got beaten down. Talked about how he was going to beat Zero, got beaten down.
So he just needs to stop talking up.
Yeah, like he only talked to us about Elegant after he beat him. Like beforehand, he was just like, whatever. So yeah, it's like a curse. Alright, so we have the core going down right away. Well, no, actually a Zealot's been made. So Zealot's going to head out here for Bonth to do a little harass. Factory is on the way for Marwin. And so now the question is, what will Bonth's opener be?
Sending a Zealot, but there's a Marine and there's SimCity, so...
Yeah, it should be fine.
I think it's a bit of a waste of time.
He'll force Bonth to spend a little APM.
Yeah.
Or Marwin to spend a little APM. Alright, so Dragoon is out, second Dragoon started.
I like to build 200 Wraiths on BGH.
I've never tried that. It seems like it would be very easy to kill. Alright, so here comes the Zealot. Nice micro here from Bonth. Although now he's having a little bit of indecision. He's like, there's too many Marines. I can't do this.
So good micro from Terran. How do you do that? I suck so much, so I can't even pull something like that off.
Alright, so the third Dragoon is out now. And some pressure being continued, but the Dragoon's going to need to run away. It's actually getting almost trapped by the SCV. Takes a lot of hits, but does kill a few Marines. And of course, the Dragoon taking a little damage on shield's not that big of a deal because shield do ray in.
And Marwan's gonna go FD.
Yes, indeed. Got those mines coming, got that tank on the way.
Gonna hit him with that big power.
Although he's lost some Marines, so the FD is not going to be particularly Marine heavy. Nexus on the way for Blunt. Are we going to see the trademark Reavers? So far, no sign of a Robo. But that would be a pretty fast Robo.
And Bonnet is actually just roaming around with his Dragoons looking for...
It's like scouting SCV, more than anything. Which is
Scouting
inside the base!
Yeah.
Psych, but it's not going to see anything yet. Blunt hasn't... Wait. Blunt has put down his Robo. Okay, so there's potential for Reavers now, and Marwin probably didn't see it, unless he saw it earlier in the scouting round with the SCV.
He didn't see it.
Okay, so the Robo remains unscouted, but the FD from Marwin now in the center of the map. But with 3 goons out, should be okay. It's only 4 Marines.
Range.
It's only 4 Marines, and one of the Marines way too far out in front, so Marwin being a bit sloppy with his control here, laying a few mines. Although they're getting picked off, and now there's 4 goons, so yeah. Marwin's gonna need to run home. He's gonna lose all the Marines, might lose the tank too, depending on how aggressive the Dragoons decide to be walking forward. There are mines at the bridge. I think the tank can just barely escape. Got to be careful. Okay, Bont is not gonna push this issue too much. Okay, so Nexus is done. Probe transfer's just a little bit late. Now what are we gonna see from this Robo? Indeed, it'll be okay. So we have Robo Obs right now.
What if it's not a fake?
Fake Obs. That would be a tricky build, man. You think the Protoss is gonna have like a bunch of observers so you don't lay mines, and then he doesn't. You know, like not how to lay mines. It'd be like the most powerful build yet.
Double observatory build.
Man, you could have like the fastest Obs upgrades that way. Think how quickly you'd have like vision and speed. You'd never lose a Dragoon to mines again.
And he's building a robot support bay in the natural.
Oh, there it is. That's what I expect. Wait, he is? Oh, yeah, up there. I went to the gas, I was like, what? That's gas, man.
I'm not bad.
I mistook gas for Robo Support Bay. Whoa, whoa, right move goons are actually going to allow the vultures to slip through, but they're not going to slip through because there's actually a goon in the pylon wall. Pylon Reaver wall. Robo Support wall.
Oh, so much imbalance being shown right now.
Shuttle on the way. And, oh, the vulture's even getting repaired. That's adorable.
Oh no, before the SCV gets killed off.
Yeah, it's gonna die. Oh wait, it's gonna get away.
Oh my god.
Hero SCV lives to die another day. No black men were killed in the making of this game. Since SCVs are all black.
Why not, like, darken? What if they're white and...
StarCraft is so racist that way. Like, have you ever listened to SCVs, like, if you just hold them and hold down one, they say all this stuff like, I don't want to be in here, this sucks. And of course, it's a black guy in the SCV, and every other unit's a white guy. It's like, status quo, man. Look at that Ops, that's adorable. It's like just out of range of the turret there in the natural. It's sitting over the edge. He's trying to find a route in. Okay, so he's gonna see 3 facts.
What if the Dragoon is black? And you can't see because of the water?
I don't know. It's a pretty deep question. Alright, so Reaver's on the way.
An FD. If it's not an FD, it would be what? It would just be an FD.
It would be a 2 fact. Oh, mines, be careful. Oh, okay. Turns around and kills some vultures. So he actually, those vultures actually saved him from the mines. The goons went to attack the vultures instead of running up ahead of the Obs into the 2 mines on the bridge. Which it looks like Bont will now be clearing out.
And the Reaver is out. Get to see some awesome.
Reaver aggression.
But Marwin looks like he's pretty prepared. Unless Bonif is gonna go be very aggressive with the Reaver drops. Like willing to lose the Zealots.
Well, he's got a hole on the left side, sort of. Maybe not. Tanks are there. They could probably shoot at it. Oh, look at this! It's 2-gate Reaver into carriers! Dun 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 dun! Oh,
Another Reaver!
Gonna pick off the turret underneath the eBay.
That was a bit...
Trying to get the turret, but the Vulture is absorbing the shots. He does get the turret though. The eBay helped, but not sufficient. Oh, shuttle! I don't know how much Bonth is gonna be able to get done with this shuttle.
Oh, he actually lets it drop. That's not good.
Takes 2 hits, but he does get a shot from the tank, although of course he needs another shot to make it worthwhile. Otherwise they're just kind of trading damage for damage. And both can be healed.
Is he gonna drop the Reaver?
I don't think you can survive 2 more tank shots. I think, can a Reaver survive 4 tank shots? I don't even know. Oh shit! Goliath! Can the shuttle get it? Yes, it can.
Oh my god.
Cliff
that
Imba.
Is so imbalanced.
Cliff Imba, we can see he's getting range, so he must know about the carriers.
Does he?
He's gonna have 2 of them popping out right now. It'd be pretty odd to get range that fast. And he's making a lot more Goliaths than just 3, so that's gotta be... Yeah, he's already got 3 down there. I think he's gonna push soon.
I hate carriers so much nowadays.
Nowadays, like you didn't hate them so much before? It's just kind of a new thing?
I lost to Birdie because of it, yo. Like, do you know how humiliating it is to lose a Birdie and his off race at that? God. Fucking Birdie. Birdie sucks.
Red X reliving his losses. Man, you're supposed to relive your wins, man. Your glory days. When you were out of Broodor.
God, I just want to, like, destroy Birdie now.
Alright, so here we go. A bunch of tanks and Goliaths moving out.
The shuttle is down to red health.
Yeah, let's be a little bit careful. Let's regenerate a lot of its shields, but a couple Goliaths will kill it. And Bonth now moving up here to attack this army of Marwin. It's got a lot of tanks in it, though. Although this is a really good surround, but I don't know if it's sufficient numbers of units, although the Reaver shot was great. Right into that card cluster, but the shuttle! Goliath range 2 Imba, and so the Reavers are down, which means the defense is...
The carriers are going out the middle of nowhere.
I don't think 2 carriers are enough to deal with this. They gotta be careful, man. They'll just get walked down by these Goliaths.
I know, Goliaths have amazing range. Oh no, the 3 Goliaths are gonna kill that 1 carrier.
And then the issue here is it's a lot of tanks, which means these Dragoons are not enough to engage. And the carrier mass isn't high enough to really fight these off effectively, especially with all these reinforcing Goliaths here from Marwin, who is just pushing Bonth right back.
Yeah, kill him.
Although, carriers are picking off a few of the tanks in the front. Now more Goliaths are finally up there. Although Bonth will need to be constantly reinforcing. Here come a few slow lots, trying to hold off this army of Marwin.
He's not reinforcing Marwin, is it?
That's not good. Bonth's gonna beat this back.
Unable to make his units more cost efficient.
In the meantime, Marwin is trying to take a 3rd base, so he's gonna need to throw up some turrets or something, get more Goliaths out, I don't know. Gonna have to do something. Just gonna have to do something.
Gonna try and run, and there's a good number of Goliaths and 3 tanks.
I actually was watching a game recently between... Oh, who was it? That ended sort of like this. It was a Jade game between, I think, Light and Jaehoon, where Jaehoon made carriers, kind of won a battle or 2 against Light, and then just kind of pressed in with the carriers and just won. So we might see that happen to Marwin here, I don't know. Especially if he gets rid of the tanks, these Dragoons can keep on coming, although there's no reinforcements coming from Bonth. But if he picks off the tanks, the Dragoons, or the Goliaths can't fight the Dragoons because all their shots go to the carriers by default, air priority. So he can just kind of keep attacking, just by keeping interceptors out, without ever putting the carriers in range. Of course, it's down to just 1 Dragoon. I don't really understand why Bonth isn't reinforcing. He finally is. but I'm not sure why he wasn't sooner. Still, Marlon's got a lot of problems. Bond has a nice 30 supply lead here, pretty cushy.
He's not expanding behind the sea though, which is weird because he has 1k minerals.
Oh, sends off the obs. Seems Bond is not eager to push this issue all the way home. It is only Goliath though, so he easily could. I mean, just keeping the interceptors out, he could just walk over what Marwyn has, as long as he keeps the carriers out of range. And Marwyn moving down with all these Goliaths, but all Bond has to do is keep the interceptors out. And without that tank support, which there's none of, I mean, Bond can literally kill this army right now, as these Goliaths cannot fight back, and there are no tanks. So this is a very concerning situation here for Marwyn right now. As long as he doesn't lose carriers, and Marwyn actually has to GG. That is almost exactly like C versus Jaehoon, only with...
You said light.
Oh yeah, light versus Jaehoon, only with 3 bases, or 2 bases and 2 bases instead of 3 bases and 3 bases. Very reminiscent of that game.
That was so bad.
So now, LRM has a lead going into the 6th set.
Talent we have.
If they win here, they can prevent an ace match, which would likely be Scan against Zeki. And while Zeki can beat Scan, I think that's usually going to go, 3 to 4 in favor of Scan most of the time.
Apparently, Apocalypse doesn't want you to use arrow keys.
So we will be on Fighting Spirit, and it's going to be Eon Zerg against Freeman.
Fremon.
So this is going to be ZVP. Eon Zerg, I assume, doesn't need much much introduction here.
He lives in Spain.
Yes, indeed, he is a Spanish Zerg. And Freeman, I don't know as much about. I think he's B+, A- guy, but I don't know exactly how strong he is. And of course, the map is Fighting Spirit. If you guys don't know Fighting Spirit, I don't really know what to say to you.
I don't know Fighting Spirit.
But it is a macro map. It is one of the more balanced maps that we've had in a while.
Sucks.
Got bases all around the place. It's good, but it's overplayed, so some people don't like it. Some people love it and only play on it. But
It
yeah,
sucks.
it's Fighting Spirit. So top left corner, as our teal Zerg, is Eon Zerg. And bottom left-hand corner, as our brown Protoss, is LRM's Freeman.
Fighting Spirit sucks. So this is a Zerg versus Protoss. I casted 7 games of the ZVP yesterday.
So you're like an experienced ZVP casting pro.
Yes, I am.
I think the level may have been a little bit lower though, level of play. Eon
Just
Zerg,
a little bit.
Eon Zerg, definitely in that upper echelon of foreign Zergs. Eon, True Touch, Technics, Zeki, the big boys.
Can't see why he wouldn't play his main race in an ace match.
Yeah, I don't know what that's. Oh, someone's saying Scan might use P.
Oh. Maybe he doesn't like Zeke's ZVT.
I don't know, Zeke's ZVT's been pretty good lately. He 2-0'd Ample recently. He also 4-0'd Larva, although apparently Larva was doing a little bit of off racing as well. But still, Larva has okay off races.
Larva is very flamboyant. As
Oh my
is
god,
Terra.
yes. Tell me about it.
He probably cusses the most out of all the streamers.
Except for Terra, man.
Terror is terrible.
He's psycho. He's psycho. Dude's just crazy. Just crazy.
Like your face.
I guess that's one way you could describe my face. Alright, so we have there's a hatchery going down. for Ianzerg, and that is a not 12 hatchery, I think that's cool. And we have, yeah, we've got forge cannon here from Freeman. And there's the Nexus. And soon we'll have a gateway. Guns are making just 2 links, so 1 cannon for Freeman will be fine. And we can see is a hatchery going down here for Ianzerg.
Alright, we get to see a 5-hatch build.
Or maybe a 6-hatch build, or maybe an 8-hatch build.
I've never seen an 8-hatch build before.
And we'll see 8 hatches before Den. Shao Shaka style.
That's like 8 sunkens in each area to defend.
Sunken defense!
And then little do you know there's a shuttle flying over with Dark Templars and blues.
Either that or just like a mass elevator with shuttle.
Yeah.
Alright. So Overlord coming down here for Ianzerg. Finally gonna get a look at the front of Freeman's base. The Lings have just been kept behind to chase the probe around. And we can see a Cybercore going up. So yeah, everything looks pretty standard and typical right now for Freeman. Oh, cannon gets off a shot or 2 on the Overlord as it flies a little too close to the sun. Or whatever you want to call a photon cannon.
The photon.
The photon surface of the sun.
I don't think it works like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it does either, man.
Drone trick for 201 supply control. Well, you can have 400 Zerglings.
Oh, it'd be a lot of lanes, man.
Yeah,
and again,
technically,
Archons could hold off that for a while.
and technically you can have more than, you can have pretty much unlimited number of Zerglings. Because you kill off the Zergling that actually contributes to the supply count. And therefore you can just keep making space for supply.
Can you actually do that? That would be adorable if some Zerg actually did that.
Yeah, if he's like seriously down in like money and can't afford overlords.
No, could you do that to exceed 200 though?
Yeah, you can.
Make like 2,000
Oh no,
Zerglings
not 200, but you would have more than 200 Zerglings because there would be Zerglings that don't contribute to the supply. But the supply count it can stay at like however many other units you have, but
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if you could use this to get like 2,000 Lings.
yeah, you can. But I mean, there's also the cannot exceed map unit or whatever.
You know, I actually had that happen recently. I was playing a game on BGH, and
Oh,
it did the
yeah,
same thing, but with
BGH.
cannons. I couldn't make more cannons. I was trying to. I literally couldn't make anything. It would like deny to make a cannon, saying there were too many units.
Yeah, it happens a lot on fastest maps.
I didn't know that was possible, but it was pretty funny. I was trying to cannon like the entire map.
Or you're playing BGH
Yeah.
and you were playing without me.
It was like what do you call it?
A race war?
No, it was just like a FFA. So we got Evo Chamber going up and Hydra Den here from Ianzerg, so pretty standard normal play. +1 weapons coming. Getting some zealots. In fact, Freeman should be moving out here quite soon. Building up the Corsair count, dropping now the cannon as well to protect the Corsairs. Oh, losing a few Scourge to that cannon, and now Freeman waits a little bit, but his timing is really nice for this. He's going to hit right about at that, 710, 715, the normal timing window for +1 speed lots. Ianzerg does have his 2 Sunkens out though, and he is getting Hydra speed upgrade. So here we go, the Zealots running in. Gonna try to find their way, but there are a few Hydra out to defend. I don't know if the Zealots can actually get in here, although Ian Zerg is not glitching drones that much. There we go, now finally pulling the drones, glitching a little bit on top of the Zealots, delaying them from getting the Sunkens, but reinforcing Zealots coming in from Freeman, and of course the Corsairs coming in here to kill the Overlords, but there do not appear to be enough Zealots left, and the Sunkens both have a lot of health, and the Corsairs need to leave. Loses one Corsair in the process, gets a few Overlord kills though, but there's no... Oh, there is a DT coming.
Two of them.
It's the DT.
But
it is
two
two.
Overlords are gonna pop.
Oh, I like perfect timing. Oh no, they got a ways to go, man. It's gonna do a lot of damage if Eon doesn't react. You should hear it though. 4 drones, 5 drones. Oh, there's one. Okay, 5 drones. It's gonna be 6. 6 and escape. 1 DT escapes with his life.
With his spirit.
With his DT spirit. And here we go. Hydra moving forward here. And they're going to come and try to pick off the cannon. It's down.
The storm's
Freeman
done.
has entered the base of, or Ian Zerg has entered the base of Freeman, picking off. 1 storm goes down. 2nd storm goes down as well, but he cannot save the dying Templar, which means the front gate is open and Ian Zerg is free to just pour Hydra in here. And Freeman has a lot of issues, basically losing issues. It's going to be near impossible to recover at this point. He is producing Zealots out of his gateway. I mean, he literally needs Ian Zerg to like comp all of his Hydras, hit hold position, and then let him storm them. That's pretty much how, unless Ian doesn't reinforce. But Ian actually might not be reinforcing. No, he's not reinforcing, so... Freeman is allowed to live through the graces of Ian Zerg or something.
That would be a bit too extreme.
Well, I thought he was going to pour Hydra in. I'll 5-hatch Hydra. If you lose your cannons and have no Templar, and only a few gates of production, you can't really do anything, but Ian Zerg has gracefully extended the life of Freeman.
And Ian Zerg isn't getting his 6 hatchery behind us though. So there's gonna be pouring in Hydras.
There's gonna be a lot of aggression, a lot of Zealots here. Gonna force Ian to kind of pull back and collect, but the Zealots themselves won't be a threat, especially without Templar, as once the Hydra Master's just a little bit bigger, it'll be too many Hydra. Oh, a huge nice trap there from Freeman, who kills 6 or 7 Hydra for free. Well, that's a pretty nice pick off. That sort of changes the threat, although there's still the SimCity to deal with. And now Freeman running in here with a bunch of Zealots. Ian Zerg has a few Hydra. I think they're looking for to pick off reinforcements or what. Now there's actually Scourge in line, no Hydra. And more Hydra pouring out of the other bases from Eon and just pumping away on those Hydra. Dim Hydra.
Dim
Hydra Liskus. So here we go. A whole shit ton of Hydra coming down against a whole shit ton of Zealots. Sans Templar though. That means no Templar, and they're kind of coming in a line. I don't know, maybe there's enough Zealots to punch through this round. But what happens is once you lose the momentum, you can't regain it because the Hydra are just too numerous. Oh, there's the Templar. Do they have storms? They do have storms. They're forced to suicide themselves though. And 1 remains, picked off by Eon, and now the army from Freeman has been destroyed. There's 1 more Templar coming up here. Does it have a storm? It does not. It will die before it gets the chance, and the other one is forced to run. It gets off a retreating storm, but the Hydra is just charging forward confidently. And now Eon putting down the 6 hatch in the main, and is just going to be rallying in Hydra. There's no cannons! And his macro appears to have come to a period of halting, as there's no units out. Eon's probably like, what the fuck? He's like, I don't even know if I should run in here or not. This is weird, man. He's going to start taking down the pylon.
Like 8 gate all in or something.
Yeah, but he's losing 8 gates to 5 hatch. Seems a little bit suspect here.
+2 is so close to finishing.
Man, it's going to be so hard for Freeman to get a 3rd. He's going to have huge problems now. He's trying to put up a cannon. But the Hydra are coming across the bridge. There are some goons out to defend, but I think it's going to be really hard for Freeman to win this game. Hydra moving forward again. Any more Templar out? Yes, there are these guys in the background. They're closing to a storm, but if Eon can kill the stuff soon enough, he can just run in there and snipe those Templar, again reducing their threat. Here come a few Hydra being sent in ahead of time. The Templar are pulled forward. They have storms, and the storms hit their mark, but they also hit their Corsairs, which Eon will pick off, so his Overlords stay alive. DT defense not going to keep him in this game. Another Templar is pouring out, but I think it's too late, and now Edon is streaming. Freeman says hard after 2 months, ties at 3-3, and we go to to the ace match.
Oh snap, Zeke and Scan.
Yeah, this could be the highest level ace match ever casted off like replays. I'm trying to think. Maybe no. I guess people have odd Zeke against C, which would be slightly higher level. But this is pretty much as high class as it possibly gets.
Zeke and C were show matches, weren't they?
Yeah, so they weren't off reps. This might be the highest like level Brood War like that's ever been casted off reps from foreigners. I don't actually know. But yeah, I hope neither of these players need huge introductions. Obviously, Zeke, I've talked about him. Everyone should know him. He's won everything in sight for the past few years. He continues just to get better and better. He's recently hit B on Fish. Just everything about him is real solid. And Scan also needs Zeke also needs, or Scan also needs no introduction either.
He's Korean, like me.
He's Korean, living in America, has played in a few SOSPA events. Of course, the map is Le Destination, commonly a mech map. Commonly a mech map, at least for Terran, as the Marines can be very difficult to get over the bridges and stuff like that. Although we have seen in past matches, Bio has been played on this map, a little bit less so in the Korean scene, but like I recall Hydra against, I forget who his opponent was, in TSL, he played Bio on this map. Has there been instances of both? Maybe, was it? I don't actually remember.
Are you talking about that one game where like the mineral patches were stacked?
I cannot remember. I just remember there was games with Hydra on here. So spawning in the top position as the green Zerg, we have LRM Zeke. And in the bottom position as the light colored Terran, teal or whatever, not teal, light brown, we have Scan.
This Peach. I'm hungry for Hungary.
Oh yeah, two-port Wraith was seen sometimes on this map too. That happens from time to time, usually into 3 racks transition though. Oh, Scan is out real fast on SCV. 8 racks maybe? 8 racks of BBS. Real quick SCV here from Scan. Looks like he's just gonna do forward 8 racks, so possible for bunker rush. And Zeke is 9 drone scouting, so that's nice. He's gonna have a pretty fast scout and be like, no barracks, what the hell? What the hell is this shit? So Zeke kind of on quasi Star Sense mode, if you will. Opting for that 9 drone scout. Overload popping. He's gonna go 12 hatch though, so bunker rush still gonna be in play. Pool is gonna be a possibility. Oh my god. Oh my god, hacks! Super hacks!
Oh my god!
Zeke hack level off the chart here. I don't think he's gonna be able to stop the barracks from going up, but he's gonna know about it. Scan can always send another SCV. Yeah, an SCV is already being sent out by Scan to prevent the death of this barracks. Death by barracks. And the SCV now pulled off. So he's gonna delay that 8 racks, which is obviously really nice. And he's forcing another SCV off the mineral, so all in all pretty significant what Zeke's done here with super hacks scouting. The barracks will finish, so the bunker rush threat is... Well, actually, never mind. Zeke just went ahead and put down the pool, so no, the threat of bunker rush will not be all that serious. Zeke should be able to deal with that, okay.
And now
return
like
the drone.
Scan is gonna go mech.
Yep, as he's getting that gas up right away.
Or he's gonna go like 2-port Wraiths.
Raisu.
Or 1 racks, 1 fact, 1 port.
This is not StarCraft 2.
And then transition into mech or bio.
Or Volcanic.
Yeah.
Alright, so Zeke getting his gas. Scan actually didn't even make any Marines. He's gonna float the racks as part of his wall. Oh, he made 1. Okay, made 1. Ran it back inside. Lings are out from Zeke right now, and there are 6 of them. 5 being sent to the base, 1 to chase the SCV. And the wall is up for Scan, and the factory is on the way. So now we must wait with bated breath to see what follows the factory. Ports? Machine Shop, Vulture. Well, Vulture will probably follow either way, but
I
Vulture.
predict an armory.
All right, you're feeling Mech and/or Valkyrie.
I'm feeling the fantasy build.
All right, so here comes some of the Lings to the front, but that one Marine and those supply depots can hold off tons and tons of Overlords.
This is Zeke versus Scan, Nina. Ska.
Factory almost done here for Scan.
Grazie. 3 starports? Oh, he's gonna go 2 port. Yep.
Oh my god, it's gonna be 2 port Wraith. Alright, we're gonna get a look at Scan's Wraith control.
Hey, apparently your overlay is wrong.
I think it's right.
No, it's wrong.
I believe it's right.
Wanna bet?
Yeah, I wanna bet. I wanna bet hardcore cash. But yeah, I was gonna say, last time I saw a 2-port Wraith on this map, well, it's been used in Pro League before, but I remember one game in particular, Flash against a foreign Zerg at WCG, where Flash literally just picked him apart in the most ridiculous of ways with his Wraith control. Like the Zerg it didn't even feel like he had a chance. It was just like the Wraiths had like twice the range of the Hydra. Like the Wraiths barely got hit.
Are you talking about Cole?
No, it wasn't Cole. It was some other Zerg.
Oh, Scan almost got his vultures in, but the Zerglings
Yeah, nice pick off there by the Lings.
got...
Did kill one, but that's honestly not that much. Now the Spire on the way for Zeke, getting Ling speed. I don't know if he knows it's Wraiths yet, because he doesn't have a Hydra Den. Although it's 2-hatch Muta, which I think has timing fast enough for Wraiths. That's gonna be iffy though, the Wraiths are almost done for Scan. Not gonna stop for Cloak anytime soon, as he does have 2 Wraiths and then 2 Wraiths in production. And now a bunch of Lings at the front, although Zeke is not gonna be able to do anything against this wall. He wants to. He's probably hoping it would be down, so here we go, we're gonna have Zeke attacking the wall a little bit, but I think he's gonna have to give this attack up. Scan will be able to get SCVs there in time to repair. Although it's going to get dangerously close, but the SCVs do arrive in time, and of course now the Wraiths are flying up towards the base of Zeke. The Mutas are not even started yet. They kill... Zeke's got a lot of extra supply, but the Overlords will get on fast. He's definitely not going to be able to make the full complement of Muta he wants to make, and I'm not sure how surprised he is by the Wraiths. Some Muta and Scourge are immediately sent into production. Looks like at least a pair of Scourge or 2, as well as some Muta. Of course, Zeke is going to have to run drones for a really long period of time. This is going to be a lot of economic damage, and I'm thinking Zeke was just a bit unprepared for this. That's already 4 drones, doing a ton of damage. 5 drones, now the Scourge are out. They can buy a little bit of time for the Muta, but soon Scan will be able to join up his race and micro down the Scourge really easy. Scan picking off a second Overlord there with his race on the other side, and Zeke in a pretty unpleasant position.
I wonder what Zeke was thinking he's gonna do, because I mean, really, he had to just walled off. He wasn't expanding.
Yeah, I mean, his Muta weren't in time. He didn't have the Spore Colony.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he was really thinking. I can't imagine what he could be thinking.
Oh man, Race have found another Overlord, so Zeke is going to be supply blocked for ages and ages and ages. And Zeke coming down here with a lot of Muta, I was going to say, I don't think he can actually challenge the Race. They're already up to 5 or 6, and seem to be more with Cloak on the way. Alright, so back in the base we can see depots going up. We can see more Race on the way, and Marines still being made out of that barracks. No sign of the full 3 Rex transition yet. Factory not being used at all. And Zeke is... No, never mind, I saw this thing going over there. I was wondering if it was a drone to make a 3rd hatch. I was like, that seems kind of fast. But right now, Zeke is finally waiting on Overlords. He's trying to make a few more drones, getting a few more Muta out. He's waiting on that last Overlord so he can get back into kind of full production. Has re-droned up a bit, and Scan moves out with a few Marines, killing off that Ling. And Scan is nicely going to force another Sunken as well here from Zeke. And of course, Zeke without Spores at the front has to be really careful. If he loses all of his anti-air, the Race themselves can just kill the Sunkens at the front and kill everything. Muta colliding into some Race, but the Race have Cloak! And they can chase the Muta down. Zeke needs to split here. 1 Muta's down, 2 Muta down. Not 3, but now going for the Overlord, which he gets quite quickly. And now the Muta, okay, second Overlord speed is done, so Zeke does have that to defend, but he has lost 3 or 4 Muta already. And Scan doing nice control right now with the Wraith, picking off all of the Muta of Zeke.
Oh, no,
and the situation
the
seems
Mutas.
bad. And also the Overlord's under fire. The situation seems really bad right now for Zeke. Almost all the Overlords are dead. He is completely supply blocked and has only a few Muta to rely on. He's doing his best, but everything is dying, and it looks like Scan is going to have this in the bag by Wraith alone. The Micro just too strong, especially with the Wraith count this high relative to the Mutas.
Oh
They're
my
all
God.
gone, no defense, and Zeke can only GG.
That
Scan
Wraith Micro.
shuts it down, 4-3. iFU will take it over LRM.
That was an awe.
Scan too strong, man. Too strong.
Parent number 1.
I'm not convinced though that someone said Zeke knew about it, but I feel like he was caught a bit off guard. I really do. It just seemed odd to have no Hydrogen, no Spores, nothing to rely on to defend those Wraiths other than pure Muta, which doesn't get it done. I mean, maybe he thought his 2H Muta was going to be fast enough, and it just wasn't, but